UFC 284. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Main event, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. It's an epic battle, number 1 versus number 2, pound for pound. Looking forward to talking about all of these matchups after seeing the fighters on the scales. Make sure you guys smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on, and if you really enjoy it, share the video too. Let's get into the first one. It is Zubaira Tukhugov versus Elves Brenner. Tukhugov did miss weight for this fight. We'll pull up the scales. You can see him here having the shield brought up because he was over the limit by 1.5 pounds. There's Tukhugov. Brenner looks pretty solid and ready to go. I will bring up the face-off between these two. So all week, I've been picking the side of Zubaira Tukhugov. Him missing weight, I think, is a little bit of gamesmanship. I'm going to tell you why. So I feel like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Tukhugov, he's fighting in the first fight of the night, and he's not getting the usual like 36 hours to rehydrate. He's only going to be getting 24. So that extra 1.5 pounds to cut could have fucked up the performance. So I think that's why he didn't make weight, because he didn't look super sucked out on the scales. I mean, he looked, like he'd cut some weight, but he didn't look, he was dying out there. There is Tukhugov. There's Brenner. You see a little bit of a height edge towards Brenner. As we get to the actual fight, the closer we get, I'm thinking that we might go longer in this matchup. I don't know. I like the intensity by Brenner in the face-offs at, the very least to be able to be competitive and make it a fight. So I'm going to lean Tukhugov by a decision, but I think that the line is stupid wide at -550, and then Brenner at +447. I just don't think it's, a valuable line by any means. I think Tukhugov is going to win, leaning it by a decision. I think we go over 1.5 rounds. Earlier in the week, I was thinking Tukhugov knockout, which is +185. Tukhugov decisions +140. I don't know. His lack of finishing ability, plus that Brenner looks a little bit bigger at the face-offs, is kind of what swayed me towards leaning decision now, the day or the night before the fight. Really, this fight's going to be on later today. Depends when you're watching this video. I'm going to Tukhugov, and I'll pick decision win in this fight right here. We're riding with him. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. Bilder and Shane Young. I've been picking Bilder all week. I liked how he looked on the scales, but it's not like Shane Young didn't come in shape, lean, ready to fight. There's Bilder looking good too. And then let's pull up the actual face-off here between these two savages. The face-off between these animals is right here, and it looks psychotic. I really like this face-off image. It is Shane Young with his tongue stuck out and face painted red. And then it's the tatted up Bilder smirking at him and just staring him right in the face when he's kind of got a dog collar on. Listen, I think Bilder's got this fight. The size is pretty similar between these two guys. You got a little bit of a reach advantage to Shane Young. But I think Bilder has a power edge and definitely a grappling advantage. I'm picking Bilder to get his hand raised. I think he wins this fight. And picking submission. +133 Bilder, -136 Young. There's good plus money on Bilder. I think he's a valuable underdog to consider playing if you're looking to throw down. Excited for this fight. Bilder to win via sub is sitting at +400. Yeah, we're riding Bilder to win. I'm picking him here. I think he can get this thing done. I think he beats Shane Young, and he's got a UFC career to start for himself. 32, so not super young in the game, but still time to marinate and become pretty fucking good. Let's keep running. Next fight. It is Loma Lookboonmee versus Elise Reed. I've been picking Loma Lookboonmee all week over Elise Reed. The scales will change nothing unless Lookboonmee shows up looking like a sumo wrestler and is way overweight, which she didn't. There is Elise Reed. There is Lookboonmee. And then we'll pull up the face-off between these two. This matchup here, it's, pretty uneventful stare down. Pretty typical. There it is. Similar stature. You see a little bit of height towards Reed. I think she's going to be outstruck with the Muay Thai, out-controlled in the clinch, and I think there's an explosiveness advantage overall towards the side of Loma Lookboonmee. So I like Lookboonmee's chances a lot here. I'm confident in picking her. Though I agree she's a bit of a wide favorite at -280. Still a playable enough tag, especially in your parlays. I'm in at +270, Elise Reed. I don't think she's a great underdog. Yeah, the line is juicy, but her actual skill sets, there's nothing jumping out the page. I don't think she can knock Lookboonmee out. I don't think she submits her, so she needs to win a decision. I just think Lookboonmee is clearly the technical, better mixed martial artist. So Lookboonmee to win via decision is sitting at -110. I'm riding with Lookboonmee to get it done, and decision is the official method of victory prediction for these two ladies throwing down. Let's get to the next fight. It is Jack Jenkins and Dawn Shainis. I've been picking Jack Jenkins throughout the week. The scales in this one were interesting to say the least for the Dawn Shainis side, actually looking pretty shredded and ready to go. He's going to come to fight. You can tell he's a Massachusetts guy just looking at the curly hair and even the facial structure. There's Jack Jenkins with the mustache. I like the mustache he's rocking, man. I don't feel any shift. I'll tell you guys right now. I think it's going to be the Jack Jenkins fight. But Dawn Shainis is not coming here to lose. I'll tell you that much. And you can tell by the face-off he means fucking business. Right in the eyes of Jack Jenkins. Nose to nose nearly. A little bit bigger head for Dawn Shainis. He could be durable. I don't know. In the early breakdown, I said, listen, if he catches him with a big punch, she could go sideways. I think Jenkins does have a grappling edge. And I can see him taking Shainis down and controlling on top. So I'm going to pick Jack Jenkins to get the win. I'm thinking he does it inside of the distance. But Dawn Shainis is going to bring the heat in this fight. And I don't think he's going down easy. I see it being a good scrap between these two. Jenkins, he's -345, sitting at, you know, a little bit of a wide line. Dawn Shainis +300. I'm leaning at Jenkins' decision, thinking about it now, fight day, after seeing the scales. But damn, Dawn Shainis is +315, and he looked good as fuck on the scales. Massachusetts guy. I just got a weird feeling, man. I don't count out these Massachusetts folks, man. Tough, hard-bred motherfuckers. And if anybody could pull off an upset in Australia, I think it's a masshole like Dawn Shainis. Granted, I'm not switching the pick, but I'm bringing up some concerns about the betting side of Jenkins if you have all your parlays relying on him. I'm picking him to win, but Dawn Shainis could still be a live dog, and he's great plus money. Jenkins to win by decision, sitting around +190, +320. I like Jack Jenkins to get his hand raised. I'm riding with him to get himself a victory. And you know what I'm saying? I think he's going to get some momentum going in the UFC here. He beats Dawn Shainis. So Jack Jenkins, my pick. But a concerned one, as you guys can tell. Next fight on the card, it is Jamie Mullarkey versus Francisco Prado. I'm picking the side of Francisco Prado. I've been picking him all week. I think he's a live dog. Granted, he's very fucking young. There's him on the scales, lean, ready to rock. There's Jamie Mullarkey. Looks kind of scary. The typical Jamie Mullarkey look. A little bit psychotic, a little bit crackhead, and a little bit Australian, all in a fucking nice little mix. Let's get the face off here between these two savages. Jamie Mullarkey, I will say, he looked pretty fucking skinny on the ceremonial weigh-in scales. There's the face off there. Guys got close to one another. Prado's got the power edge. I think he'll sleep Jamie Mullarkey here. I'm going Prado by KO. I think he finds the chin, and he's going to knock Mullarkey unconscious. Big power in the hands of Prado. Good overhand shots. Good pressure with his hooks. Good flurries against the cage. And Jamie Mullarkey, a guy that's super stiff with his stand-up. Granted, he's not old either. At just 28. I think he's going to get flatlined here. I'm going Prado to win. +240 live underdog. -260 for Jamie Mullarkey. I like Prado by KO. I think he's being slept on. It's +575 for him to win by knockout. And I like the chance of him getting a KO win. So we're riding with him. Francisco Prado still to beat Jamie Mullarkey. Next fight on the card. Clayton Rodrigues versus Shannon Ross. I've been picking Clayton Rodrigues all week. But he missed weight. Comes in at 127. This fucking guy cannot make weight at 125. There's Shannon Ross. Looks shredded, ready to go. There is Clayton needing the box, the prime hydration zone, the fucking box to come through. He still looks lean and ready to rock. I think it's another ploy. You know, he knows he's fighting early in the night. That extra pound to cut off, I think, would have took a lot out of him. So he doesn't want to cut that extra pound, and he'd rather pay the fine rather than lose the fight. I'm going to pick that Clayton still wins a decision here. But he's not in an easy fight. His opponent's coming to fucking scrap, man. These guys got into it at an intense little face-off early, but then there was respect afterwards. But I'll bring up the intensity. You can see it was like the elbow by Clayton he was trying to work. It was a really weird face-off when you really think about it. Clayton trying to do something different. I don't know. Like some samurai shit. but it just looked weird. Yeah, I'm picking Clayton Rodrigues to win a decision. Don't love the bet. I think he's stupid wide and he's unproven as fuck, but I think he can beat Shannon Ross. He's minus 325. Shannon's plus 284. Clayton Rodrigues is where I'm going. I think it does go longer, over a round and a half, minus 190. Rodrigues via decision. That is sitting at plus 200. So Clayton Rodrigues, my official prediction to win a decision over Shannon Ross. Should be an interesting fucking matchup between these two. And I think it's going to be a good fight. But yeah, I mean, I'm picking Clayton, but I think he's unreliable. He lost to CJ Vergara in the last one. Next fight of the night, Josh Culibao and Melsik Baghdasaryan. Very excited for this fight. Been picking Melsik Baghdasaryan all week, and damn, it was a good face-off. We'll first look at the official weigh-ins. There is Josh Culibao. Looks slim and ready to go. Smiling, happy. He looks excited to be here. Melsik Baghdasaryan looks stone cold. There's only one pick of him, and he looks stone cold as fuck. And then if you look at the face-off, he was not fucking around. Intensity from the side of Melsik Baghdasaryan. I think he's a tricky prospect, man. Look at this. He looks like a fucking gangster staring down his opponent. Looks ready to eat. There's Melsik Baghdasaryan, right? And then things got a little bit physical. Culibao got a little too close, and Baghdasaryan said, fuck no, grabs the throat and shoves Josh Culibao back. It was a pretty savage moment. Melsik Baghdasaryan ain't playing. This is a good fight. This intensity, I think that it upped my intrigue in this fight probably by like 25%, maybe more. I was already excited to see this fight because I like Baghdasaryan as a prospect, and I think he's a value bet. But shit, this intense fucking face-off, the choke, the shove, let's go, man. Melsik Baghdasaryan and Culibao is going to be awesome. And I'm picking Melsik Baghdasaryan to get a decision. Odds are about even at minus 110. I think Baghdasaryan does get it done on the cards. Baghdasaryan wins by decision. That is sitting at plus 245. I like Baghdasaryan's chances to win this bout. And I do think it goes long here. Over 2.5, around minus 162. Baghdasaryan to get his hand raised. It's going to be a good scrap, and I want to see them settle the beef inside of the octagon because there's definitely some fucking beef there. You can't tell me otherwise after that type of fucking face-off. Let's go. Next fight, it is the featured prelim. Tyson Pedro, Modestas Bukauskas. This is a good fight. I've been picking Tyson Pedro. He looked good on the scales, but as did Bukauskas. There is Pedro. There is Bukauskas. Both guys lean, ready to rock. Bukauskas is ready to, right some wrongs after his 3-fight UFC losing streak got him canned. He's on his way back. And you know what? Tyson Pedro, for some reason, doesn't look him in the fucking eyes. He's smiling, but he's looking at his chest. What is he, Fedor Emelianenko? But Fedor didn't smile at you. He didn't look at you, but he's ready to kill. I don't know what he's staring at. Maybe he's checking out his fucking nipples or something like that. I don't know why Pedro's looking at the chest smiling. I think give him the respect of the eyes. Or at least look at his fucking nose or something. This was kind of weird. A little bit worrisome because I do take things away from body language. It could be nerves. Doesn't want to look Bukauskas in the eye. I don't know. Doesn't want to make it seem real that he's in a fight tomorrow. But yeah, I'm picking Pedro to win. But yeah, I didn't like this face-off. I didn't like him looking down like that. I don't know. Little worrisome just, due to body language. Looks a little submissive staring down like that. Tyson Pedro, I'm thinking he gets a KO, but it could be live that, he gets a sub too. He's got an advantage, I think, in the jiu-jitsu, and he's a more powerful striker, and he's got nasty low kicks. I think he fucks up Bukauskas' legs. Minus 210 Pedro, plus 200 Bukauskas. The pick is still going to stay with Tyson Pedro, but I don't like the body language. I think it's under 2.5, which is minus 165. Pedro to win inside distance, plus 110. Pedro by KO, which I think most people are thinking is plus 190. Sub, though, is plus 455. So, interesting note. Tyson Pedro, though, my pick. I say he gets it done. He beats Modestas Bukauskas, even though I didn't like the body language. Let's get to the first fight on the main card. Make sure you guys smash the likes, and if you're new, subscribe. Let's talk about Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. Listen, I've been picking Jimmy Crute to pull this thing off. I know that Menifield is a very popular underdog. He hits hard, Crute makes mistakes and gets wild, but Jimmy Crute definitely is the better grappler of the two, and I think he can still go out there and beat him and be the better fighter overall. There's Alonzo Menifield. There is Jimmy Crute. Crute looks in solid shape, and he looks ready to go. I mean, I think people forget he's 26, so they start, judging his whole game based upon losses. I mean, his last fight was against the UFC champ, Jamal Hill. No shame in getting ran the fuck over because, let's be honest, does Alonzo Menifield do much better with Jamal Hill? And then Anthony Smith fight. Jimmy Crute obviously lost. There's the face-off. Crute's got a little size edge. Listen, I think the grappling skill set advantage is real. I worry Jimmy Crute gets a little wild and could definitely get caught here, but I'm picking Jimmy Crute to win. And I'm going to say he gets it done via submission. I think that he's going to win submission. On the ground is where he has a big edge. In the striking department, I could see him landing, but I could also see him getting wild and making mistakes. Alonzo Menifield, the guy, credited of having power, but Askar Mozarikov has a scrubbed record, and Misha Serkanov had one arm that he was fighting with. He went the distance with Ed Herman, and then he choked out a Fabio Chiron. Jimmy Crute is better than everyone William Knight has fought recently, and I think Jimmy Crute is going to beat him too. The odds for it, they have Crute as the favorite. Best values around minus 185, plus 165. Menifield, looking at Menifield to win. Or excuse me, Menifield to win. What the fuck am I saying? I'll give you Menifield knockout because I know a lot of you guys on it. It's plus 255. But Crute to win by sub, plus 330. Crute to win by decision. Interesting. Plus 550 at the highest. And Crute by KO, plus 275. Moneyline Crute is ugly. This is a weird spot because Jimmy Crute's on a losing streak. Menifield's on a winning streak. The momentums are shifted. And the odds are kind of stupid. So I don't really like a Jimmy Crute bet all that much. But I am picking Jimmy Crute to win and beat Alonzo Menifield. And I think spoil a lot of people's underdog of the week. So yeah, Jimmy Crute to get it done. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, it is heavyweights Justin Tafa and Parker Porter. 266 for Tafa. He made weight this time out. And then Porter coming in at 264. So we got giant heavyweights. I've been picking Tafa by knockout. Can he defend the takedown? I think he can. There's the Samoan. Looks thick as hell. There's Parker Porter. Looks thick as hell. Both guys are just absolutely fucking chubsters, man. The chubby motherfuckers in the cage. But Samoan fat is a little bit different. There's more power behind it. Whereas the American, white fat, he lays on you well. The Tafa power, though, is real, and I think he can get a KO. And I'm picking Tafa by KO. It's interesting. They're both listed at 6 feet. Parker looks more like 5'10". I think that, Tafa's actually a real 6 foot. I think Tafa's going to sleep him, man. I like the face-off intensity. Doesn't change the pick. I'm going Justin Tafa via knockout. The odds have Tafa slight favorite, minus 123. Porter plus 120. Yeah, I like Justin's chances. Tafa to win by KO is sitting at upwards of plus 180. I like the chances of a knockout. I'm going Justin Tafa, KO win. I think that he's going to end up getting it done by a knockout. I feel like the power and the kicks and the punches are way too much. His explosiveness is real, and he's at a flatline Parker Porter. So Justin Tafa for the Dubski. Let's get to the featured bout of the night. It's Randy Brown versus Jack Della Maddalena. I've been picking Maddalenna all week. I even went so far as to say that Maddalenna is my lock of the week. I'm still very confident on him. After seeing him on the scales, we'll pull him up. There is Maddalenna, good shape, ready to go. There is Randy Brown. He brought up the shield, but it makes sense. He's a tall guy. Looks slim and ready to rock. He's got a big nose, though, man. He might be getting his nose smashed across his face. I know he said he's going to fix Maddalenna's nose, but his nose might get fucked, man. They might be looking like fucking twin brothers after this fight right here with identical noses smushed across their faces. I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to get the knockout. I've been picking him by KO. Ain't nothing changing with me here. He's going to get a knockout. He's going to sleep Randy Brown, and I think he is the real lock of the week. You can see a respectful but intense martial arts face-off. Let me move a little bit over here so I don't get fucking shifted out of the way by this damn picture. Yeah, I like it, dude. I like it. Maddalena looks good. Brown looks intense too, but Maddalena's got his number. You see it. You know it's coming. Maddalena knockout. My pick, and a very confident one at that. Maddalena's minus 300. Brown plus 275. Okay, let's look at this. Knockout win for Maddalena. It's minus 110. It's not great. You got to round prop it. Round 2 knockout plus 540. Round 3 knockout plus 1100. Round 1's plus 220. But something's telling me Randy Brown can go around. That's an unintentional rhyme. Jack Della Maddalena by knockout, though. I see him getting it done. And, yeah, I'm calling him lock of the week. I'm riding with my guy. Let's keep running to the co-main event of the evening. Yair Rodrigues versus Josh Emmett. I think this is going to be a real fun one in the featherweight division. I'm picking the side of Josh Emmett. I have been all week at least. We'll look at the scales. I'll tell you, Josh Emmett looks fucking ready to go. He looks sucked in and, kind of scarecrow slash, bulimic slash dying. But hey, he looks lean and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He looks terrible on the scales, but it's just how he tends to look. It's a little sneak preview of Volkanovski. But there is Yair looking lean and ready to rock too. I'll pull up the face-off between these two. Let's get it right here. Face-off right now. Bada bang, bada boom. Yeah, I'm picking Josh Emmett to win a decision. I think he'll finish stronger and beat Yair. But note this, Yair's a fucking monsoon in the first 2 rounds, and he's very dangerous with his punches and kicks with absolutely insane explosiveness. Emmett plus 166. Yair minus 165. Looking at it. Emmett to win by decision plus 390. Yair to win via KO plus 320. I'm curious what Yair in round 1 is. Rodrigues round 1 plus 850. It's low likelihood, but there's always a chance. Rodrigues went for some crazy kick. I just want to see what it was worth. I'm not telling you guys to play it. I'm picking Josh Emmett. I think he takes the fight later. I like the plus money tag on the underdog here. I think that Josh Emmett finishes fights stronger than Yair does. Yair's a guy that gets tired in the 3rd round. Jeremy Stephens wins a 3rd round against him. Max Holloway destroys him in that 5th round. I think Josh Emmett's on his way to taking 3rd, 4th, and 5th and getting himself an interim belt against Yair Rodrigues, who in the first 2 rounds is impeccable. He looks so good in the first 2. But 3rd, 4th, and 5th, he's going to fade. Josh Emmett for the win. And new interim champ, and he's fighting Volk next. Let's get to the main event of the evening. If you guys haven't, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. I have been picking Islam Makhachev throughout the entire week. Of course I have. Team Dagestan for the win. I think Volkanovski's a tremendous fighter, but he's fighting upper weight class against Islam, who's an absolute monster Dagestani wrestler. He's a southpaw. He has punching power, and he's also a lot taller than Volkanovski. I know the reach, Volkanovski has is just mind-boggling. He's got an inch in reach on Makhachev, who's clearly the bigger guy. I don't think it matters here. I think in the wrestling, it's all Makhachev. I think distance striking, I will say there'll be nice low kicks by Volk, and he'll close range decently. But it's not like Makhachev couldn't hit him with a hard shot and hurt him. We saw Volkanovski flash knockdown by Max Holloway in their 2nd fight. So something to mention there. I like Islam to win. I think arm triangle is possible or ground and pound TKO. There is Alexander Volkanovski. That is Volkanovski on the scale. Gives him the thumb. There's Volk again. There is Islam. There's Islam again. Islam shredded, ready to go, ready to fight for the world title, pound for pound #1 on the line. And I think it's the Islam Makhachev show. I'm picking him to get it done. Let's pull the face-off up, and you'll see the size difference. It favors Islam a lot. He's going to be huge come fight day. Yeah, people will say, oh, he's getting less time to rehydrate. True. But he's getting way more time than the early guys on the card. So realistically, he's the main event. So he's getting what? If it's 24 hours from official weigh-ins to then the actual start of the event, you know that he's probably not fighting till 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's 6.5 hours later. He's getting over 30 hours to fully rehydrate. I think that Islam will be all right. I think he's going to beat Volk on the ground. I think the grappling difference is going to be crazy, and Volk's going to say, what the fuck? This is Dagestan. These guys are different level, and I think he's going to show it here. So I'm going Islam Makhachev for the win. As far as the betting lines, Makhachev's nasty wide, minus 345. Alex Volkanovski, plus 325. Makhachev to win inside of the distance is something that I feel like I personally like. It's minus 120. I know it's not crazy good odds, but it is likely and, I guess safer than trying to pick between the two. I mean, yeah, let's go with Makhachev sub, plus 150. Makhachev KO TKO, though, is upwards of plus 500. If he gets a ground and pound KO and you play that, you're coming home with some cash in this one. Money line is ugly. It's not really a great way to play it. This is UFC 284. I think it's going to be a great card. I want to send you guys off with parlays, though. We're not done just yet. Let's pull the parlays up on the screen. All right. Let's see who we can bring up. I'm going to skip past Tukhugov and Bilder. I'm going to not use them, at least not yet. and let me get to, some top tier talent. So Jack Della Maddalena, high confidence pick for me. I think that Loma Lookboonmee has a real good shot, minus 130. Islam Makhachev, plus 123. But you're like, no, I want value in my line, and I don't want a lady. All right, no problem. Melsik Baghdasaryan, Jack Della Islam. You add in Loma, plus 325. Very playable, right? Let's see. If you added in the likes of a Jack Jenkins, plus 447. But he's fighting a game dude in Don Shainis. If you wanted to go with more value, you could go Blake Bilder as a dog. That brings you all the way up to plus 878. That's a great line. Holy shit. Or if you're thinking young dog of the week, this young lion Prado brings you to plus 1,304. Be cautious with these long shot parlays. Keep them on the safer side. Don't go absolutely fucking ballistic. It's the fight game. Crazy shit happens. Crazy shit can always happen. I'm going to make the craziest parlay because you know what? Why not just finish it out with absolute chaos and have you guys wondering, shit, is it possible this comes through? Maybe. Plus 3,000 for this one. Let's add him in too. Let's just go crazy. Let's add everybody we think has a shot here. We're going across the fucking board. Jack Della, Islam, Melsik Baghdasaryan, Loma Lookboonmee, Jimmy Crute, Tyson Pedro, Josh Emmett, Jack Jenkins, Clayton Rodrigues. And let's slowly add in one more. Blake Bilder. Holy shit. I don't think you'll even be able to play this thing. That'd be crazy if you could, though. Depends where you're at. Some places will let you. You imagine you had, this is not, why do I got Mullarkey? You can take Mullarkey out of here. Prado, plus 31,261. It's Jack Della, Islam, Melsik, Loma Lookboonmee, Jimmy Crute, Tyson Pedro, Josh Emmett, Jack Jenkins, Clayton Rodrigues, Blake Bilder, Francisco Prado. This is a near perfect night, which what's the likelihood of that? Probably not all that high, but hey, the fight game is crazy. Crazy shit happens. Be cautious with your bets, guys. Be cautious with your parlays. I'm not saying this is a lock by any fucking means. I'm just having fun with it. I like the first one that I brought up, the early ones. And, I've talked parlays all week on this week's Best of MMA Bets. You guys kind of know, my idea around what to do. 2 to 3 fighters max for your best likelihood of success. I hope you guys enjoyed the weigh-in show. Make sure you smash the likes. And if you're new, subscribe. Fight Companion for the full card, 6 o'clock, starting for UFC 284 at 6 o'clock Eastern time. It's 3 p.m. Pacific. And anywhere else you are, check that time zone. Check that time difference. At the start of the prelims, I'm starting the live, so make sure you guys tune in. Thank you all for watching. Much love. Drop a W in the comments if you got nothing to say, but definitely let me know your picks. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.